Hello, welcome to the next edition of the Thursday special. Today we're going to be trying out 8 Maw, or 12 Maw, technically. Now, hopefully we can at least get a win like we did with the deck I played earlier, Gates. So that is my goal right now. I want to at least get one match win, if that's possible. That would be pretty amazing to me. But, playing a 6-drop common generic 6 mana, 6/6 trampler probably won't get there, but we're going to still play double sets of Dreadmoss. So we're going to be playing this on Moto. I did manage to pick up the Dreadmoss and the Glimpse of Core from the store. So let's go ahead and get into this deck list. I'm super excited about trying it out today. Hopefully we can win. Like I said, if we win a match, I will be happy. I mean, this is kind of like Jank Tank, just in regards to the power level of the top end. I think is a lot lower than what you traditionally would see is something like Carnage Tyrant. Just that alone, like that would be a massive improvement over Colossal Dreadmaw. The meme has to live on. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can be alerted for future videos. Don't forget, let's get to 1,000 subs together, and let's get into the deck list. So one thing that this deck, of course, gets, we get Castle Garenbrig. Hopefully we can get a Dreadmaw down by turn 4. That is the goal. We have 8 ramp spells on turn 2. We have 2 Grazers because it's kind of a bad top deck. We have 25 lands, 4 Cavern of Souls, since our important creatures are dinosaurs, so we just make them uncounterable. So at least we can maybe sneak a win over a deck like Spirits or something like that. But we have 2 Chandras, reasonable sized threat that can help ramp us into Dreadmaw. We also have 2 Sweltering Suns. It's the best sweeper for the main board, right? In case it's bad, we can cycle it away. It's a classic card. I've always played it in Titan Shift as my main board sweeper. And then we also have Cindermaw and Dreadmaws. So that is our package. We have a Stomper for a little bit more dinosaur improvements. We have 1 Spite to help put a card we don't want at the bottom. Sideboard, though, we have Volleys for mono white, blue, and Greasefang. We probably would be cutting down on probably a Dreadmaws. Like one Colossal Dreadmaw and maybe some Cindermaws seem like a reasonable choice. We have a Damping Sphere for the Lotus Field matchup. At that matchup, really the Spites aren't very good, so we'll probably cut that and something else. We have Bank Buster for the mid-range matchups. That particular matchup, probably Spite, also probably doesn't make the cut. Then we also have Unlicensed Hearse for Graveyard Hate with Frillback. Frillback is also an artifact and enchantment room hate. Also, it kind of helps against something like aggro, right? So instead of having something like Baloth, right, to gain 4 life, we have Frillback. It comes down, gains 4 life, is a okayish blocker. For the versatility on the card is nice, and it still allows us to Thunderherd Migration, so that's pretty good. Shifting Ceratops is for the Spirits matchup, and any kind of mono blue decks like that. We have Burn Down the House for another sweeper, so we're pretty prepared for aggro matchups. Hopefully your main board is built in a way to be reasonable right out of the gate against something like mid-range. So that is our 8 or 12 Maw for Pioneer. Let's see the deck in action. Forest Elf passes. Stomping Grounds tapped. Say go. Elf? Another elf? No. So at this point, it's kind of pointless to even bother. So we'll go ahead and grab Forest and say go. Haven. So this is mono green, but 1 land. Kiora. Untaps. Clearly they have something for 2 mana. Another Haven. Passes. Grazer's a terrible top deck. So I guess we are playing a Stomper. Grab a Forest, say go. Untaps. Let me guess, Storm the Festival? Sure. Gets a Troll and a Nykthos. Pays into it, gets 9 mana. Of course, another Kiora. Untaps the Nykthos. Pays into it, 13 mana. Flashes back Storm the Festival. I'm guessing. Plays a second Storm the Festival. A new Nykthos and an Old Growth Troll. Sure, 14 mana. Karn. Minuses the Karn. Chain Veil, of course. Alright, pays into Chain Veil. Assuming untaps Nykthos. Okay, 9 mana. Karn, Cityscape Leveler, kills my Stomper, passes. Oh, it hits me for 1. Sure. Cavern of Souls. Put it on Dinosaur. Can't do anything but a leveler. I could stomp. That's all I could do. Stomp the Karn. Then we will stomp a elf. Play a grazer. Pass the turn. Lucranos, of course. Draws a card. 11 mana with Nykthos. Untaps Nykthos. 20 mana. Storm the Festival. Okay, Tribute and a Cavalier. Play the Lair. I'm pretty sure this is just over with though. Karn. I'm just off. So probably burn down the house. Maybe Frillback to answer the enchantment. What's bad in this matchup? Chandra doesn't seem good. 1 Colossal Dreadmaw, 1 Cindermaw, and another Cindermaw. Run it like that. Stomping Grounds tap, say go. Lair, Mystic, passes. Forest, Spite, kill the elf, put Cindermaw to the bottom, say go. Forest, Invasion, gets an Old Growth Troll. Veil, Glimpse, get a forest, say go. Kiora, Glimpse, get another forest, say go. Leave up Stomp, untaps. 4 mana, Beseju, Cavalier. We'll stomp the Kiora in case we ever want to burn down the house. We kill it. Smoldering Suns. Cycle Suns. Play Castle. Play Bone Crusher, say go. Another Invasion. Haven. Tap, untap, tap. Old Growth Troll. Mystic. Goes to combat. No attack. We'll go ahead and hit you. Okay, blocks. Burn down the house. Pass the turn. Okay, Storm the Festival. Old Growth Troll. And a Nykthos. Beseju. Pays in a Nykthos. Of course, simple 9 mana, sure. Karn. Cauldron. Gets 2 things back. Passes. Play Dreadmaw because we can. Say go. We didn't come here to play Dreadmaws and not play them, so. Even we're staring down the face of a Karn, Kiora, and all the other horrible things that go on in Mono Green Devotion. Alright, untaps. Of course, you have tons of mana. Cavalier. Down to Karn. Chain Veil, sure. There's a Chain Veil. Activates it. Untaps Chain Veil. Activates it again. Untaps Nykthos. Haven. 18 mana. Tutors with Karn. Shadow Spear. Storm the Festival. Tortoise. Okay, untaps. Taps again. 46. Shadow Spear. Probably guess you're going to turn on the Lair. Give it Trample. And all we're trying to do is cool things over here. And then you have, of course, you have this deck that exists. That should never existed in the first place. Okay, hits me for 45. Sure. Get him, Colossal Dreadmaw. You got this, Dreadmaw. Alright, 0-1. Let's get into the next. 5. Passes. We draw another land. It's weird. We'll go ahead and drop a forest, say go. Starslick Shores. Passes. Another basic. Play him, I guess, a mountain. Say go. Okay, Thought Thief. Cavern of Souls. On Rogue. Hits me. Sure. Okay, it's over 2 action. Watch me draw a land. It's not a land. So we'll name Dinosaur. Play Migration. Grab our last basics. Say go. That's awkward. Island. Hits me. Grazer. Those are both cards I don't really want. Grazer have been okay, but... Ooh, that's not bad. Castle Garenbrig. I don't really think I could risk it. Maybe I should have played the Veil. Say go. Okay, Mastermind. Watery Grave. Goes to combat. Hits me for 3. Gets rid of 2 lands out of the way. Scavenger. Passes. Play Rockfall Veil. Tap that for play Dreadmaw. Draw a card. Oh, no, I don't draw a card for that? Okay. For each other dinosaur. That's fine. Edicts me. Hits me. Down to 5. Kaido. Draws a card. Phases out. I'm all in or nothing here, I think. Chandra. I guess it's still dead. I mean, he has enough things in the air. Alright, maw ya. Plays Guild Force Enforcer. Bounces my maw. Okay. And hits me. Sure. And we're dead. Okay. Maws tried their best. So we are going to bring in Volley. Probably Frillback and Ceratops. Those all seem like decent cards in this matchup. Ironically, I think I'm going down the Cindermoss. I think Frillback is better. Ixalan or Graveyard can be relevant. Hearse also could be helpful for that same regard, but I don't think I'm going to go I don't think I'm going to use it. Chandra is weird. Crusher. Do I cut Crusher? Possibly. Go down Chandra, up, burn. I don't like that. Play a forest, say go. Shores. Thought Seizes. Okay. Takes the volley. Takes my burn down the house. Passes. Play Pathway on red, say go. Pathway on black. Passes. Sure. Castle. Reveal. Thundermaw Migration. Grab a mountain. Say go. Okay, Enforcer. Goes to combat. Hits me. Take it to 19. Passes. There's another Garenbrig. Alright, we're all here to play this Dreadmaw. Alright, see we got a counter for it. Mastermind. Mills me. Of course. Alright, get him, Dreadmaw. We gotta win a game with Dreadmaw. That's our goal. Okay, disrespects the Dreadmaw. Hits me. Sure. Pithing Needle. For the castle. Chandra. Thank God we sideboarded those out. Put that on red, I guess. Volley. Say go. Castle. Hits me. Take it. Forest, I guess. Pass the turn. Draws a card. Watery Grave. Goes to combat. It hits me. Down to 10. Scavenger. Okay, we untap. Another land. Pass the turn. Hits me for 8. Sure, take it. To 2. Kaido. Draws a card. Shores. Phases. Alright, we need like a miracle. Aha! Another one. What do you guys say about Dreadmaw number 2? Pass. Gust. And we scoop it up. 0-2 with the deck. We will win a game. Just watch. Let's get into the next. Babel Passage. Passes. Stomping Grounds. Tap. Say go. Forest. Untap. Mountain. Beanstalk Worm. Triumph. Sure. Pathway on red. Migration. Get a forest. Say go. Up the Beanstalk. Triumph. Passes. Those are not helpful. Rockfall. Go ahead and drop down a Cinder Maw. Say go. Omnath. Fable Passage. He doesn't gain life thanks to the Cinder Maw. Does get mana though. Plays the Worm. Passes. Garenbrig. Hit ya. Trades. Put Grazer to the bottom. Sweltering Sun. Say go. Womp. Up to Beanstalk. Beanstalk Worm. That on red, I guess. Glimpse. Get a forest. Play Bone Crusher. Say go. Chain to the rocks. Sure. Hits me for 5. Take it. Puts Jets in hand. Lounge. Haha, we drew one. Play Dreadmaw. Say go. Elvish Archivist. Chain to the rocks. Man, everyone disrespects the Dreadmaw. He's so good that you have to use removal on it. That's what we learned. It's so good. Hits me for 5. Plays Fable Passage. Passes. Bone Crusher. Stomp. Suns. Say go. Island. Okay, goes Luton. Escape to the Wilds. Really good magic card, especially in this situation where we're top decking and he has 3 cards in hand. Garden. Elvish Archivist. And probably up the Beanstalk. No, he didn't tap correctly to let that happen. Cavern. Named Dino. We're just going to play it, I guess, even though it's going to get chained to the rocks. Pass. Binding. Flips. Reflection. Up the Beanstalk. Chingatha. Tap Foundry. Hits me for 0. Sure. Dreadmaw. No. Tap Stomping Ground. Say go. We're not exactly dead, since Reflection can't copy Jegs. Binding. To draw a couple cards. I don't think there's no legal targets, though. Don't you have any artifacts to make this thing get counters? Quintorius. Sure. Discovers. Sea Shark. Fable. Copies the Shaman token. Hits me for... Okay, I guess I lost 2 life. Yeah, because of Quintorius. Yeah, so I'm dead. Okay, so again, I think Frillback's coming in to answer all of the pesky... Chain of the Rocks, Leyland bindings. Seems good. Volley can hit some things. Is it enough? That's green. Like, I don't think so. Maybe burn down the house. Maybe down 1 Bone Crusher, 1 Spite, 1 Glimpse. Run it like that. Stomping Ground, tap. Say go. Tap Headquarters. Passes. Mountain. Play that said Mountain. Reveal the Dreadmaw. Get me a forest. Say go. Sacred Foundry. Go ahead and Rams himself. Passes. Forest. Let's go ahead and ramp right into Dreadmaw. Uptick. Say no. Pass the turn. Up the Beanstalk. No black mana, so he can't binding this. Passes. Another Dreadmaw. Okay. Uptick for mana. Play Dreadmaw. Crap, the wrong Dreadmaw. Go. Meant to play the common up the Beanstalk. Sure. Can you answer my big fatty? That's all it is. No. Uptick. Play a second Dreadmaw. Go to combat. Smack face. The first Dreadmaw hit. Cha-ching. That's great. So now he has to answer Chandra's Barded Emblem. And he has to answer my 6/6s. Got a game win. Yes. I can run it back. Tap Lounge. Passes. That's not bad. So play Castle. Say go. Triumph. Passes. Put that on red. Say go. Temple Garden. Puts Jegs in hand. That's a good sign for me. Another Dreadmaw. Play Veil. Play Stomper. Grab a forest. Say go. Archivist, Chained to the Rocks, Sacred Foundry, untapped. So probably leaving up a Leyland Binding. Put that on green. Do I just start slamming Dreadmaws? Or do I try to make a bait for a Chandra? I think I bait for a Chandra. We should better play that. Minus, eat the Elvish. There you go. Another Elvish Archivist. Binding. Eats my Chandra. Tap land. Passes. Dreadmaw. Play the smaller Dreadmaw. There you go. Fable. Draws another card. Makes a 2/2. Plays a tap pool. Passes. We get to untap with the Dreadmaw. So we're gonna get our first card off of Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Get him, boy. Cavern. Bam. Nailed it. Dinosaur. Go to combat. Smack with a 6/6. Yes. Goes a Luton. If I draw another land, I could Chandra Uptick plus Dreadmaw, which would be really good. Omnath. Okay. You have a fetch, or are you just going to play land and gain 4 life? Up the Beanstalk. Draws a card. Can I win this turn? Attacks. So is this for a binding, or just to grow the Elvish Archivist? Yeah, there's the binding. Eats my Dreadmaw. So rude. My poor Dreadmaw. Yeah, that happens. Bone Crusher Giant. I can't do that. I can't Suns plus Stomp. However, that's still not enough, because I mean this basically costs 4. So let's see what we could do here. Let's do this one. Tranquil. Okay. I don't need to exile the graveyard. 4 life probably doesn't matter. So that's essentially all I need. And we will destroy the binding. Okay, so I could uptick for 5 mana. Is that even good? So if I uptick, I could Sweltering Suns. That kills this and this. That's not good. And this. With this also going to get out of hand pretty quickly. But Burn Down the House next turn does deal with it. If I minus this, kill Omnath, hit face for 6. That's relatively okay, but I could do that post combat. Hit you for 6. Okay, double blocks. Okay, that means I just uptick and stomp and say go. Escape to the Wilds. Draws a card. Chain to the Rocks. So you're probably gonna attack out my Chandra. Yep. Plays the Mountain. Another Up the Beanstalk. Draws a card. Passes. Stomping Grounds. Play Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Uptick Chandra. Sweltering Suns. Play a Dreadmaw. Say go. He has 7 cards in hand. And somehow we're still in this. I don't know how. Omnath. That resolves. Fable Passage. Cracks the Passage. Contorious. Fable. Makes a 3/2. Passes. Play a Forest. Question is, do I want to... So if I uptick 5 damage. Burn Down the House. Chandra. Number 2. Uptick Chandra. Can't cast that. Go to combat. Smack face for 6. Okay, got him to 8. Another Omnath. Cracks the Fable Passage. Okay, Swamp. Yeah, there's more mana. Activist. Fable. Archivist. Archivist, not activist. Okay, makes a Goblin token. Chain to the Rocks. There goes my Dinosaur. We still have a Bone Crusher. Passes. So he wanted to give me false hope. I guess because he wanted an extra Sprock from the Elvish Archivist. Can't we just have our Chandra? Then the deck. Play Bone Crusher. There you go. He has 9 cards in hand. Another Elvish Archivist. Chain to the Rocks. Hits me for 6. Down to 8. Oh, you got a counter. Okay. Yeah, because of the token that this token makes. Contorious. Casts Plant Beans. Another Fable. Hits me to 4. Okay. Plays a Chrome. One more land wins. Nope. Banky. That is not necessarily what I want. Alright, Banky. Draw. Dreadmaw. Alright, go out with a bang, I guess. So I guess we're dying with the Dreadmaw on board. Hopefully he just leaves it alone and, lets it be. Oh, man. So, I mean, we tried. We got a game win. That was all I was asking for with this deck. I mean, he had to show up at the very end, right? I mean, he had to showcase that, hey, you trusted me, and I am the clutch player, and he loses. So 0-3, but we got a match. We got a game win. That's all we could ask for. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck? Overall, the deck was just a total meme. That's what it was intended to be. So if you expected a competitive deck today, you definitely tuned into the wrong episode. You can't have a title called 12 Maw and expect it to be good. Earthshaker, I think if we could potentially, it's not bad for a top end. Especially in draft. I gotta imagine it's gotta be pretty good draft, especially if you could play a bunch of dinosaurs before it and draw 4 or 5 cards off of it. Seems like a decent card. It's definitely an improvement over the other Dreadmaw. But so, you know, like I do love that Wizards had to throw back to Dreadmaw, and I am happy also that it happened to be a different card, because it would have been kind of boring if we got another just plain Colossal Dreadmaw. I want something else so that way this deck could be formed. Next time we come back here, Wizards, print a 5 mana 5/6 Trampler and see how that competes. Basically Colossal Dreadmaw, but 1 less mana, right? You don't need the extra ETB trigger. We just want more of these effects so that way it could be more of a meme. But honestly, if you could just keep smashing these 6/6s, eventually, like, we were getting through. So it did take him a lot of removal, Chain to the Rocks, and bindings to keep our dinosaurs in check. But honestly, though, if we would have had the slight upgrade and had Carnage Tyrant, we might have actually won that match. Just saying, like, if we would have had a Hexproofer as our 6 drop instead of that Dreadmaw, we probably would have won the match. So, because what are you going to do? We do a Chain of the Rocks in your Leyland Bindings opponent. But other than that, the other thing that I noticed is maybe we need more basics. 5, it seems like it should be enough, but with 8 ramp spells, maybe we need a little bit more push. Problem is, I don't really know what I would want to cut. Maybe it's just a pathway for another mountain. So that way at least we could tutor for 2 mountains at least, since we do have some dual colored red stuff. Other note, the card that really outshined in this deck, I think, at least in the last match, was Chandra. It came down, ramped me immediately to a Dreadmaw, and applied pressure relatively fast. Just due to the pure nature that there's multiple Dreadmaws coming at you. That's scary. But there's also a Chandra over there about ready to ultimate, and it was going to. So, like, maybe Chandra should be like a 3 of. Chandra actually, I felt like, is better than the dinosaur that adds 2 green at your pre-combat phase. I think Chandra is better than that card, just because, like I said, it's also can be card advantage if you need it in certain matchups, and it can add red mana whenever you need it. So, like, it's also a removal spell. So I really do think Chandra is the better way to go if you are going down the path of the Hulking Raptor. I think you'd rather just play Chandra if you are Gruul, right? If you're mono green, there's not much you could really do. So, but what suggestions would you guys would have had to upgrade this meme deck outside of touching the malls, right? Any other card is open for discussion, but the 12 malls gotta stay. Frillback, again, I think is just overperforming. That's why I have it main board in my aggro version of this deck, just because it's 4 copies. It's a decent fine rate card, and it has a relatively ETB triggers that are relevant in most matchups. The life gain can be relevant, the artifact and enchantment destruction is relevant, or the graveyard hate is relevant in almost every match. So, like, Frillback always felt good coming in, and that's the key reason why Cinder Maw kept coming out of the deck. Because just kind of like Frillback, like Showcase, it's just better than Cinder Maw, which is reflected in my aggro deck, which I cut Cinder Maw for Frillback. So the next dinosaur deck we're going to be touching, of course, is going to be the aggro variant. I'm thinking that's going to be one of the first decks that I play through a league this season. I know I haven't technically played dinosaurs through leagues all that much, but I think it's about time to change, just because I think dinosaurs right now are very close. They're on the cusp of being a good deck, a legit deck that could 5-0. We're probably going to be trying that out relatively soon. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And I'll talk to you soon.